Hi, my name is Rachel Parsons, and we're here again for another edition of Nutrition in the Kitchen here at the Broome County Regional Farmers Market Commercial Kitchen. Today we're going to be making beans and greens. So the recipe today we're going to use Swiss chard, but you could use a variety of greens. You could use collard greens, spinach, beet greens. Really, it's a versatile recipe. Use what you got. We're also going to use canned diced tomatoes. We're going to use 2 cans, and we do recommend using the no salt added variety. No salt added is going to have a lot less sodium, so it's certainly going to be a lot better for your heart. We're going to use some black-eyed peas. You could certainly cook these from dry or use can, whichever you're more comfortable with. If you use can, we do want to rinse those with some cold running water, and that will leach out a lot of the sodium. We're going to use some bell pepper. The recipe says red or green. I really like the contrast of colors. We eat with our eyes as much as we eat with our tongues and our nose. So those different colors are going to just make it really look pretty, that contrast with the green. We're going to use a whole large onion and 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. If you've been with us in the past, you know that we really love garlic here at Cornell Cooperative Extension, so 4 means 6. We're going to use a little bit of apple cider vinegar, some maple syrup, which we're in maple syrup season right now, so something you can get here at the farmer's market. So we're going to use a little bit of hot sauce and pepper and thyme in order to season our dish. And we like to serve it over some whole grains, so just some options that you could choose from. We have some whole wheat pasta, grain mix. This one has whole oats, spelt, brown rice, quinoa, and wheat in it. Brown rice, of course, is an excellent whole grain, a really low-cost option, or quinoa. This is a red quinoa, but you could certainly use white as well. Whatever you like. A recipe is just a guideline, and make it however you like. So we're going to get our grains started first, because that's going to take a little bit longer. So we do have those started here. Again, follow the directions on your package. We did go with that 5-grain mix. And it's about 2 cups of water per 1 cup of grain. But again, follow the directions on your container. So the first thing we're going to do is have a little bit of olive oil in our fry pan. I'm going to get that warmed up just a bit, and we're going to add to that just about a medium heat right there. We're going to add our onions and garlic and our bell pepper. Those peppers, again, in addition to all those colors, lots of vitamins in there, lots of vitamin C, actually. So give this a stir. This is going to cook for 3 to 5 minutes. We don't need those cooked all the way through. We just want to get those aromas coming out. And it's going to start to smell really great in here. While that's cooking, we'll go ahead and prep our Swiss chard. So when you purchase this, they do have it here at the market. This we got from Heller's Farm, and you see it comes in a variety of colors. This is rainbow chard. Generally, you find it just the white variety, but the rainbow is really nice. And again, those colors add different vitamins for us, but they also make our dishes look nice and pretty. So you be sure to wash these first. This stock is quite edible. It does make it take a little bit longer to cook. If you were using spinach, for example, in this recipe, it's going to cook very quickly. If you were using collard greens, those are a much tougher green, so it'd take a bit longer to cook, probably closer to 15 to 20 minutes. But we're going to use those ends, and we're just going to chop those. And when we get to the greens, I'm just going to kind of stack those together, and I'm going to do several cuts long way, and then I'm going to turn this and we'll do them across. So kind of make in bite-sized pieces. Again, the smaller you cut this, the quicker it's going to cook up. So that might be a factor for you. Maybe you need to slow things down. Maybe you need to speed things up. The Swiss chard is a nice green vegetable. Our green vegetables are loaded with vitamin K, but it also has a large amount of antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C, also iron and calcium. So for those of you who are lactose intolerant, including those dark greens in your meal planning is going to help make sure that you're getting the calcium that your body needs. Swiss chard is super easy to grow, so you can plant it and harvest it all summer long. So if you're new to gardening and you want to try something fun that you know you'll be successful at, the Swiss chard is definitely the way to go. When you do purchase the Swiss chard, be it at the supermarket or here at the farmer's market, just put it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator when you get home, and it'll help it stay fresh for 3 to 5 days. Am I forgetting anything? Okay. So it's been a few minutes for our onions, garlic, and peppers. And now we can add our greens. And we're going to add 2 cans of those diced tomatoes. And we're going to give this a stir. And see all those beautiful colors, again, that contrast with those different colored peppers, the greens. It just really makes it look very appetizing. So we're going to put the lid on there, and this is going to cook for, again, another 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the type of green you used. If you used collard greens, it's going to need to cook a little longer. And watch it if you're using collard greens. You may need to add a little extra water as well. And so now our greens are nice and cooked. You can see they've wilted down quite a bit and they're nice and soft. And at this point, we're going to add in our beans and our seasonings. So again, we're going to use a full can or about 2 cups of those black-eyed peas. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon each of thyme and pepper, and then some hot sauce. That contrast with the sweet maple syrup and that spicy hot sauce is going to be really good. Do this to taste. You know, if you really like hot sauce, maybe you want to add a bit more. If you don't care for that super spicy, maybe add a little bit less. You could also use canned diced chilies instead of the hot sauce. Again, a recipe is a guideline. Use what you like and what you have available. So we're just going to give this a stir and heat up those beans and seasonings. And we'll let this cook probably another 2 minutes or so. So now we're going to plate up our dish. Again, those grains. It's really great over those grains. Those grains are going to give us a lot of B vitamins, a lot of fiber, a lot of protein actually too in our grains. Easy to get enough protein in America. So we'll just put some of our greens right on top. And there we go. Beans and greens. Thanks for joining us for Nutrition in the Kitchen, and tune in next month. Thanks a lot.